So next up, hip flexor stretch. So just the hip flexor attaches to the front of the hip, starts in the lower back, runs through our pelvis. So really want to feel this stretch to the top of the hip. So some of our quad muscles are hip flexors also, but we're going to target this particular stretch towards our hip flexor. So a couple of ways of doing it. From yoga, we're going to look at our crescent lunge. For this purpose, we're going to keep our core tight, keep that back leg straight, squeeze your buttock, and then reach to overhead. Just feel a strong pull to the front of the hip. If I turn that back foot out slightly, the stretch varies. Again, trying to keep the hips open, don't let them roll in. Push through, slightly different variation on the stretch. Use my couch stretch position like I did for the quads, but here I really put the emphasis on driving my hip into the ground. So really target the front of the hip. So again, you might get a little bit of quad in with this if your quads are tight, but this really attacks the top of the hip, especially if I actively engage my glute and push down in. Our final piece, which can work really well for this, is to take that band into the equation. Again, it's important that when we use a band, we're going to relax into the stretch fully, so get it up around the hip, take a little bit of tension on, and then just allow that band to pull you down further. So with the band around my hip, it's really going to open up my hip flexor, keep your core tight, push down on the band, and then work internal, external rotation to find the best stretch for you at the front of the hip. Bit of contract, relax. Again, I can contract the muscle, relax in. Again, just find that stretch to the front of that hip capsule, whatever position you can get it best in. So using the band, couch stretch, or quad stretch position. Or sorry, crescent.